Hello student, let us learn the agro-based industries. This is the next part of the chapter manufacturing industries. So as you know, I've already told that agro-based industries are those industries which depend for the raw material on agriculture. So that is why it is called agro-based industries. Based on agriculture, those industries are called agro-based industries who depend upon the what agriculture for their raw materials, right? So under this, we will be reading the first industry, that is called textile industry. Do you know, student, that textile industry is called the oldest industries? Because you know that during the Britishers period, the Britishers only they came to India for two products, you know, two items. One is textile, another is that is spices, right? So that is why it is called, during the British period this industry was there. So textile industry is called the oldest industry, and also it occupies a unique position in the Indian economy. Do you know why? Because of three reasons. One is due to its production, due to its employment generation, and also for foreign exchange earning, right? So it is the only industry which is self-reliant, and also it adds the value to its raw material to get the final products. Okay. And first we will know the cotton textile industry. The first cotton textile industry was set up in Mumbai in 1854. Okay. And the cotton textile is mainly located in Maharashtra and Gujarat belt because of the suitable climatic conditions. Whatever favorable condition is required for growing the cotton are present in this belt, that is Maharashtra and Gujarat belt. Earlier the cotton textile industries were located in, first it was established in Mumbai, then Gujarat and Ahmedabad, but later in Ahmedabad it became the more modernized cotton textile industry. That is why it flourished. This Ahmedabad flourished like anything in India, and that is why Ahmedabad is known as Manchester of India. Later, the Coimbatore also in Tamil Nadu, it also came, and this Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu is called the major areas where the cotton textile industries were flourished, right? Later on, other areas also, these cotton and textile industries, Surat, then other areas also in eastern part, also some of the industries of cotton textile also developed. So what are the suitable climates here? In Maharashtra and Gujarat belt, let us discuss. First one is availability of raw cotton, as black cotton soil is present, because these are called the plateau region, like Deccan plateau region, which consists of black soil. So due to the raw cotton, we get available, we get easily as black cotton soil is present, right? And this, you know that black soil is suitable for growing cotton. Second is good transport facilities, including port facilities, right? Next, availability of labor. Cheap labor we get from the places like nearby adjacent areas, your Bihar, then Odisha, then Jharkhand. These areas, the people, they go to these places, Maharashtra and Gujarat area, into the cotton textile industries to work as the labor. So availability of labor is another favorable condition. Then good moist climate. You know that moist climate is required for cotton what growing industries. So there also it is available good climate condition. And which countries are called the main export areas? The Japan, USA, UK, France, Sri Lanka, Nepal, East European countries, etc. And cotton textile is produced by three methods in India. One is handloom, then powerloom, and mills. And cotton textile industry involving what are the activities? The ginning, spinning, weaving, dyeing, designing, tailoring, and packaging to produce ready-made garments. So let's discuss some more details about these industries. As I told, various activities are related to this industry. So ginning, I told just now, you know, I told ginning. What is this ginning means? Ginning means removing seeds from cotton. Similarly, spinning means making yarn, weaving means making cloth, dyeing means giving color, designing, then packaging, tailoring, and sewing. So lots of activities are done in what cotton textile industry. Therefore, it is also known as employment generation field or employment generation industries. Easily, that is why it has got a unique position. And you know that it supports many other industries such as chemicals and dyes, packaging, materials, and engineering works also. While spinning continues to be centralized in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu, weaving is highly decentralized to provide good scope for incorporating traditional skills and designs of weaving in cotton, silk, zari, embroidery, etc. India has world class production in spinning, but weaving supplies low quality of fabrics as it cannot use much of the high quality yarn production in the country. See what happens, even though we are producing a very good or yarn, spinning yarn, but unfortunately the weaving is done in scattered unit. Therefore we are not able to utilize that best quality of yarn in our country. Therefore we are supplying it to other areas. So here is the question. Just now I told why we are exporting the good quality of yarn to other countries. So the why our spinners export cotton yarn to other countries? Okay, because these are the following reasons. We have a large share in the world trade of cotton yarn. Just now I told our spinning mills are competitive at the global level and capable of using all the fibers we produce. Okay. But the weaving, knitting, and processing units cannot use much of the high quality yarn that is produced in the country. ये एक reason, one reason है. There are some large and modern factories in these segments, but most of the production is fragmented in small units. In different scattered units, ये सारा चीज हो रहा है. So that is why it is not possible to give a good cloth. So even though we produce a good yarn or best yarn, you can say, but we supply it outside. This mismatch is a drawback for the industry. As a result, many of our spinners, what they do, they export the cotton yarn, while garment manufacturers, they have to import the fabric, different type of fabrics. So here is the question: what are the challenges or the problems that the textile industry faces? Textile industry faces the following challenges. One is scarcity of good quality cotton. Then main cotton growing area went to Pakistan during division. Old machineries. Erratic means the power supply is not regular. Low output from labor, and the tough competition, which is the most important challenge nowadays for cotton textile industry, tough competition from synthetic fibers. Okay. This is all about, this is the cotton textile industry look like. And these are the areas where the cotton textile industries are located. Mainly, I had already told Ahmedabad, then you know that Coimbatore, then Mumbai. These were the old places. Some of the new places also came up. Your Jalgaon, Indore, Ujjain, these areas, Kanpur, Agra. Then these all areas are called the cotton growing belt. Okay. Next came that is jute textile industries. You know, children, India is largest producer of raw jute and jute goods. And about 70 to 80 jute mills in our country present. But India is the largest, but after Bangladesh. Okay. That is after Bangladesh only, the jute industries in our India, it is what? The next, it comes under the next rank. First jute mill was set up in Risra in Kolkata in 1855. So India is the largest producer, but it is after Bangladesh. Jute is used in making rope, bags, carpets, etc. Most of the jute mills or industries are located along the Hooghly River. Do you know, children, where is Hooghly River? Yes, Kolkata. Hooghly River in West Bengal because of the following reasons. Number one, raw jute is available for West Bengal. Easily हम लोग raw jute मिल सकता है वहाँ पर West Bengal में. Then inexpensive water transport. You know, children, that what easily, and here in this industry the water requirement is very high, so that is why water transport, it is very it is expensive because it is based or is located near the Hooghly River, so that is why we get this type of facility over there. A good network of railways, roadways, and waterways to facilitate movement of raw materials to the mills. Then abundant water for processing the raw jute. Next, similarly, the cheap labor what we get from West Bengal and adjoining west states of Bihar, Odisha, and Uttar Pradesh. Kolkata as a large urban center providing other facilities also, because that time, Kolkata was an old city, as nowadays. But that time it's the first city where the Britishers, they had started the different administrative what activities. So at that time already few of the places, these areas have been developed, that is being banking, insurance, and port files facilities for export of jute goods. So that is why these are the facilities where jute goods are jute goods are flourished near Hooghly river basin. So the tough competition with the synthetic substitute is called the most important challenge that this industry face, because if the a question will come, if I will ask you that which is comfortable, the jute bag or the synthetic bag or plastic bag, yes, obviously you will say the plastic bag, because for this only we and portability is also, it is good of this plastics and all other fabrics. But here the question is, even though the jute is one environmental friendly, but still the people are not using its uses, gradually day by day it is decreasing. But and this is called the challenge. Okay, the tough competition also it has to face from the synthetic substitute that produced by the Bangladesh, Brazil, Philippines, Egypt, and Thailand. Okay, to stimulate the demand, the products need to be diversified. Yes, and the main markets to whom we send these jute products are USA, Canada, Ghana, Saudi Arabia, UK, and Australia. Okay, and that now the people are becoming little bit environmental concern. They have to look after the environment where they live. So that is why, due to the global concern for environment are growing day by day, that is why this biodegradable material, that is jute, has once again opened the opportunity for this product, opportunity for the product of jute. Okay. In 2005, what is the solution for this? In 2005, National Jute Policy was formulated. What are the objective of this policy? That increasing productivity, improving quality of the jute products, ensuring good prices to the jute farmers, and enhancing the yield per hectare. Okay. These are called the challenges and the solution of jute textile industries. These two are called the textile industries. In the next video, we will see the next part of the chapter, that is the next part that is called sugar industry. Okay, children? Thank you.